All right, welcome to episode 8 of the Two Average Guys Sport Podcast. Just a couple dudes talking about sports, no former playing experience, no former management experience, about as normal as you can get. I don't know, there's like some car pulling in my driveway. That's weird, whatever. But like I said, just literally two average dudes talking about sports. We got a lot of good stuff for you today. My name is Sam. This is my co-host here, Espen. How we doing today?
We're doing pretty good. What a weekend!
Yeah.
Sat on my ass and watched Red Zone for 7 hours yesterday. That is the way American Sunday should be spent. Let me
Are
just
your
tell
eyes
you.
bleeding yet?
Not as much as yours should be after that Cowboys performance, but
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. It was a tough weekend for us all, but that's okay.
yeah,
15 more weeks of football to go, so God bless that.
yeah,
But it was an exciting first weekend. We got some NBA news for you, some MLB news, including a no-hitter alert, some college football news, like we said on last Thursday. This was the first kind of real weekend of college football, some NFL news, and then some other sports, including the Premier League. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, and then we have a new top five.
yeah. It should be a fun episode. From football to football. Let's get it started.
All right. And so the NBA, I thought Denver was done. Obviously, Michael Porter Jr. makes those comments, says we need to play better. We are just trash right now. Since then, they've gone 2-0. We have 7. Game 7 is tonight. What are your thoughts on the whole series? I mean, it's been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what in the hell did the Clippers? They were. Obviously that took like kind of a backseat to the NFL yesterday, but they had a 16-point lead at halftime, and I thought they were going to cruise to a Game 6 victory. And Denver just they do not give up. And I almost want a Denver LA Lakers finals right now.
I'm agreeing with you that I don't think Denver won those two games. I think that the Clippers lost
Clippers
those two
lost.
games.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that they started to play poor defense. They got too relaxed, and Denver saw the opportunities, and I mean, they've jumped on it. And so Game 7 is tonight. I really don't know what's going to happen. Like, I want to put in a prediction, but both teams they're kind of neck and neck now.
Yeah, I mean they're both pretty evenly matched teams if you think about it, and I
Who are
think
you
it's gonna be
going with?
oh, well, Denver's really changed my mind. I'm still gonna go with the Clippers. I mean, if Denver comes back from 3-1, do they go to the NBA Finals?
No,
You don't think so?
maybe not. But here's the thing. I think Denver's going to win. I think Paul George is going to kind of be ghosted tonight in a sense. It's just, I think Denver is just, they have the tools, they have the players. I think Denver wins it tonight. And also to mention that Paul George, his ex-wife, I believe she is now, is Doc Rivers' daughter. So rip to that.
Actually, I just looked at my phone. The game's actually tomorrow night. I thought it was tonight.
I thought it was tonight too. It's not.
It's tomorrow. Yeah, it's for some reason. They're playing Game 7 tomorrow and the Game 1 of the Eastern Finals tomorrow, which I don't really get how that works, but
That's weird. All right. Well, we
yeah,
got it tomorrow night. That's okay though. I thought the
yeah.
game was 2 days ago. Was it one day ago? Was it yesterday?
It
Might have
was
been
yesterday. Yeah,
yesterday.
it was yesterday. Yeah, because
That makes sense.
I tuned into it like during the football. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Switch.
So
Yeah, yeah. Shifting from the West to the East. So we got the Eastern Conference Finals matchup. We got the Heat and the Celtics. Surprising
what a
matchup.
series.
I mean, I think both finals are going 7. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
everybody
I'm
was
just
saying everybody was saying Milwaukee, Toronto. They're the two heavyweights of the East, and here come Boston and Miami out of nowhere in the bubble and show that they're.
and the truth be told is, yeah, they're better than Toronto and the Bucks, but I mean, they've just no one. I didn't expect Miami. I didn't expect Heat to make it all the way in this far into the playoffs, but they have the juice, they have the energy, they have Jimmy Butler, obviously, who's not, you know, some nights he's hot, some nights he's cold, but it seems like they have guys that just make it up left and right. It's gonna be a fun series.
I think I'm going to give the edge to Boston. They seem like more of a complete team. I mean, they're loaded with. I mean, you got Kemba, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown. I forget who's their center. Is it Aaron Baines? Isn't he still with the Celtics?
Yes, it's Baines.
Yeah, it's Baines. Yeah, I think.
And
Like I
Ennis
said,
Cantor, who hates like the turkey president, but that's kind of funny.
I feel like Ennis Cantor hates everything.
Dude, the Turkish president like wants to put like a hit on him, and Cantor's like, "Fuck you, man." Like, I mean, like,
I'm just gonna stay in the States and ball out, you
yeah,
know.
dude, you're not gonna come to America. It's just the Cold War.
Yeah, and so it should be a fun series with Miami beating Milwaukee. And speaking of a certain stud in Milwaukee, Giannis, what are we thinking about? Are we still thinking he's staying in Milwaukee, or?
So here's the past couple of rumors. A couple days ago, he asked for a trade. Well, let me go back. A couple days ago, he unfollowed all of his Bucks teammates on Instagram. Everyone started to make a big deal. It's like, really? Do you guys have nothing better to do? Okay. So now he asked for a trade, supposedly. That's the rumor. And then today or yesterday, he was meeting with the owners, and the owners said, we're gonna buy players. Like we're gonna feed into the system. And either way, he asked the Bucks owners say that they're gonna go ahead and like feed into the system. But the truth be told is like Milwaukee's on a hot spot. Even if I offered the guy $150 million, it's not guaranteed that he's gonna come to me. Like what players do they need to get for the Bucks to become Eastern Division champs to war in the NBA Finals?
Well, I said last week they need to bring in Bradley Beal. That would be a start. I think too, getting ready your coach, because Budenholzer, he seems kind of lost coaching this team.
Yeah.
I just from like his facial expressions on the sidelines, he's made some questionable calls in the playoffs. I would love. It would be fun if they could pull like the Brooklyn Nets and put like a Steve Nash to be the new head coach. But I mean,
well, you know what they remind me of? They remind me of like the Raptors. Like the Raptors a few years ago were really good, and they were doing good in the playoffs, but they never made it past the finals. They fired their coach Dwayne Casey, and then the next year they're in the playoffs, or they're in the NBA Finals. Obviously, they got Kawhi, who's a superstar, but the same thing with the Warriors. Mark Jackson built the team. Okay, he took it as far as he could. Steve Kerr comes in. Steve Kerr leads into the NBA Finals. So it's just like, what coach is going to elevate them from here to here?
Yeah, I mean, Billy Donovan, he's on the market now, leaving Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's Billy Donovan, there's Mark D'Antoni.
And D'Antoni, he's parting ways with Houston. I think you're going to see
Brown.
That's true. Yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, do you dip into the college like a Jay Wright from Villanova? I mean, I think he's under contract, but like, do you take a risk? And
that's ballsy.
I think ballsy. if you're an organization as good as the Bucks right now, going college may not be like you see like the Cavaliers, like they went with John Beilein from Michigan. Of course, that didn't work out, but
I mean, I truly wouldn't mind a guy like Ty Lue. In the sense that here's why because they're very similar to that team. That Cleveland team that won the NBA Finals. They had a central guy, but they also had some guys, like Kyrie, like Kevin Love. So if they get a guy like Bradley Beal, I mean, it could happen. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I'm interested. And then, like we said, Mike D'Antoni leaving the Rockets. Not really surprising.
I kind of saw that. I saw this coming. Houston they're another one of those teams just cannot take the next step. I mean, of course, the Western Conference is loaded, but obviously Harden's the leader of that team, but bringing in Westbrook, I mean, Westbrook really hasn't done much for them. So
I mean, the truth be told is like, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say they're not like a team, but they're not a great team. Like in the NBA season, it's so easy in a sense to have a good record because you beat the shit out of the bad teams and you play close. When someone loses, loses, whatever, to the good teams or the great teams, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Celtics. So, like, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. But that's okay. MLB news, we going from Houston basketball to Houston baseball. So Houston visited the Dodgers this weekend. Fans were standing outside on the buses and banging trash cans. And there's a plane that flew over that was like Houston cheated. So just like rip to Houston, man.
This is what sucks about having no fans at the stadiums this year, especially for this season when the Houston Astros are the most hated team in baseball. Mm-hmm. There was going to be so much funny shit this year that was going to happen with the Astros and visiting teams in the visiting stadium. I mean, you're going to have people banging on trash cans, just cussing the whole team out. It was going to be a season to remember if you're an Astros fan. But yeah, really unfortunate, but it is. It is
It would
what
be
it is.
funny to see like fans dressed up as trash cans and people like banging. Like
Hey, Halloween's coming up.
that'd be some shit that'd be funny to see. Yeah, Halloween.
Yeah.
But also MLB news. Sunday was obviously football filled, but we did have a no hitter.
Yeah.
Alec Mills for the Cubs pitched no hitter against the Brewers. Like, cool.
Man, Milwaukee taking a bunch of L's this week, except for Green
Yeah.
Bay. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, congrats. I mean, like I still think the Cubbies are looking like a hot team. And hey, my bold prediction a few weeks ago of a all Chicago World Series, it's looking kind of good. The White
It
Sox
can
are.
happen, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, we're getting closer to the playoffs. So, but I feel like basketball and baseball are almost going to take a second seat now with football returning. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's what always happens. Obviously, this is a weird year because the NBA usually doesn't start for like another month and a half, actually. But because I went over the summer, just
Yeah.
rip. But that's okay. College football news. I just want to say this one. You can talk about the rest. Kansas. Kansas taking an L. You can see the football stadium from somewhere near your room, but L.
Wow.
2 years in a row, by the way.
This is we don't need to talk about go. This is not a this is not a Kansas football podcast. We don't need to go that in depth into it. Wow.
I just want to throw this out there. There was a Snapchat that went around that said Kansas is a football school from yourself, and then like an hour later, it was like never mind.
They were both deleted. They paid Coastal Carolina $1 million over the last 2 years to come play here, and we are currently sitting at 0-2 against Coastal Carolina. It was 28. It was 28-3 at halftime. We get. Can we
I can't
cancel
play.
Can we cancel the program?
Hey, I can't talk since we don't even play this year. So like,
I hope I hope the season gets canceled because of COVID. Or just like
rip.
Yeah, just relegate us to a different conference. We don't deserve to be in the Big 12.
FCS.
I mean, do we
still
compete?
lose? I feel like JMU or North Dakota State.
We have lost to FCS schools before.
But here's the thing, and then in like some years you go beat Texas or Texas Tech, and it's like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, we did beat Texas. Yeah.
I mean, if Les Miles goes like 0-10 this season, do they fire him? They might have to. It's like, I get it. You're trying to establish a program, but when you lose to Coastal Carolina back-to-back years.
My thing is, too, bringing somebody completely new and young. I think he's starting to lose a little bit. He's getting up there in age. I'm not saying he's delusional, but like he had his time at LSU. I just think he can't. I just think his style of offense too is not suitable. He likes to run it and play very like run the clock type. Where college football now, especially in the Big 12, is really fast paced. I mean, you see like Oklahoma and Texas where they just run the point. So so it'll be nice to be 0-10 again this year. But shifting to another Big 12 school. How about West Virginia? I mean, only in West Virginia would this happen.
Dude, are you surprised? Like, you're West Virginia. All you do is fucking party, and then you get 10 players lost because COVID. Like, well, COVID breaking violations, but that
didn't seem to matter because they won by 60 or 50 or against like
Eastern Kentucky. They played, yeah, exactly.
Eastern Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah, what a fucking joke. But man, like, only West Virginia, you have to be so dumb enough to go to the fucking bars. Like, we have a game on Friday. I think we can go to the bars on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's been to Morgantown. Don't need to go back.
I did that bad.
I mean, they got a few good places to eat because it's a college town, so of course, but boy, it's a little rough around there.
And then going a little bit more east, into the South Carolina. Yeah, a little bit eastern, southeast, shall we say. I said east. That's what a dumbass move by me. Trevor Lawrence, somehow he's graduating in December. That's like 2.5 years. I don't know how the hell that's working, but like, good for him and being smart. But tank for Trevor begins.
We thought it would be Jacksonville, but I mean, we'll get into NFL later. But I mean, Trevor. I mean, you got to think he's gonna be the number one pick, right?
Easily. I mean, I would say Justin Fields, but without a football season, like, it kind of seals the deal only because then they can't show their highlights.
And I am a complete idiot for not putting Clemson in my college football playoff a couple of weeks ago. I mean, Clemson's they're just gonna demolish the whole ACC.
Well, that's the thing, and I'm actually we're gonna go back and forth. But without putting Clemson in, we look at the uniqueness of this college football season and who was in the top 25 to begin with. Obviously, teams like Iowa State, like the fuck no. But now in the top 25, you got Louisiana Lafayette, who would never make it in a normal season. Never.
They beat Iowa State. So, I mean, hey,
yes.
Shout out to them. I mean,
they beat Iowa State, which is great, but they are not a quality team. No offense to them. BYU at 21, they beat the shit out of Navy on Memorial Day, or excuse me, Labor Day. So rip to that. And then Army at 22. These schools, Kansas might get in the top 25 after going 3-7. Like, not actually, but the point is like, why? Like, we're getting so many weird schools in the top 25.
Usually, I mean, sometimes you'd be surprised. Like, there's some teams that sneak, like, but usually they're later in the year when they're like 8, 9, 10-0. You don't see this after week 1 though, which is really interesting, like you said. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like, it's just weird seeing like in a normal season. I think I saw like Oklahoma State was like number 11, and probably a normal season they would be like what 23.
Yeah, they'd be like 20. They'd be 24.
Yeah, something around there.
And but so yeah, that's the thing. And then hear me out here, right? Okay, so then we go to the top 5, right? Number 1 is Clemson. Number 2 is Alabama, who hasn't played a game yet. Number 3 is Oklahoma, who played 1, obviously, same with Clemson. Number 4 is Georgia. Okay, they haven't played a game yet. And number 5 is Florida. So, like, 3 out of the top 5 are SEC, and they haven't even played a game yet. And that's, like, I mean, no offense to ACC, ACC, I guess, but, like, you're already saying that teams in the SEC are better than you. And the same goes for the Big 12, I guess.
I mean, yeah,
it's kind of disrespectful in a sense.
Is it though? I mean, the SEC is just they're stacked from top to. We may have the entire SEC be ranked this year.
Except Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's just
and Missouri, because fuck Missouri, but you know.
That's a whole Kansas Missouri problem. But like that's the thing, like we're gonna see some weird fucking teams like Boston College, who hasn't been in the college football, rankings and God only knows how long since Doug Flutie. But like it makes me question how many of each conference, like how many of the Big 12, how many of the ACC, how many of the SEC can get in just because it's such a weird year and there's no Big 10. Now, if Big 10 does play, which there is a rumor that they're going to start on October 17th, what does this mean for the Pac-12, number 1? What does it mean for the bowl games? Because like the Rose Bowl, for example, is Big 10 versus Pac-12. And number 3 is what does this mean for the college football playoff? Like you're going to play 10 games and then be done in December?
It throws everything out of whack because you have every conference starting. Well, the ACC and Big 12 are the only 2 that are kind of on the same path because
and SEC starts in.
I think they
26th.
start next, not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean they'll be able to catch up to the ACC and Big 12. But if you have the Big 10 starting in October, and I've seen today the Pac-12 is thinking about starting in I think around Thanksgiving. So then you have to play into February. I mean, why even play at that point when you're going to have all these other conferences who've played their seasons, and it's going to throw all the bowl games out of whack. It's going to throw the college football playoff into mayhem. Even the Big 10 starting in our.
And well, here's the thing also, right? Say the college football playoff gets delayed until late February, early March. Well, that's when the combine is. And then we usually see the draft in early April, late March. So it's just like it throws everything out of whack. It's like, what's even the point?
If only the conferences could have worked together to begin with when they had all this time to prepare for the season over the summer and gotten on the same page and said, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, and this is how we're going to do our season. But instead, no, every conference had their own health officials telling them what to do, what not to do. And it's just going to screw everybody over, I think.
I mean, on top of that, we're going to see some funky bowl games. The Rose Bowl could be Louisiana Lafayette, assuming they go 7-3, versus a team that
Army.
Yeah, like this throws everything out of sorts. This is a terrible design season. Rip to college football in a sense because this season should go to shams, like by all means.
I really hope college basketball. I mean, college basketball is like my favorite sport, but I really hope that college basketball can get their act together and do something.
I think college basketball will be played. I think it will be played at the start of the normal season, whenever. I think everything will be normal. Fans might be in a question, but
like I said, give me an expanded NCAA tournament too. I will. just I'll love
You
it.
want
I'll
every
love
team
it.
in there?
No, because I found out it was
And
Coach
what was it?
K.
NJITT?
What do you mean?
What was it? New Jersey Institute of Technology
Institute of
going like
Technology.
0-38.
Yeah, actually, I became a fan of them because they went winless. So that's my team to cheer for. But yeah, hey, they joined a conference. You know, they're still trucking along. But
Yeah, I mean, like you're gonna see like it's just frustrating, man. Just frustrating.
yeah,
That's
but
all.
it is good to see that football's back. I mean, we did see college football this weekend. It was fun to see that. And then, of course, I mean, our top story. We're going to do a complete breakdown of the whole week, the whole Sunday of NFL games. Let's start with the Thursday night game last week.
Should we go speedster version or should we go full version, full in detail?
Nah, let's go into detail. I want to talk some NFL. That's just what I'm here
All
for.
right. You obviously took the first game, Kansas City versus Houston. Houston, we do have a problem. Just the city of Houston just struggling. Deshaun Watson looked disordered in a sense. Kansas City took that one. What was it? 38. It was 34.
34-20.
Yeah.
Which
So
it should have been like. I mean, we were up like big, but we
well,
got
it's consolation points.
Yeah, a couple of late touchdowns were scored by Houston, but the running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire looked like an absolute stud. He's leading the NFL in rushing after week one. The Chiefs look like they haven't missed a beat. I'm definitely excited. I think, like I said, I think Houston's taking a step back. So I think and of course week one's always tough because you don't know how team, and of course
Especially
with no
this season too, with no preseason.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt. I was like, I'm gonna get to this later, but I felt like, oh, because the Cowboys lost, like it feels like a preseason.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a great, solid win for the Chiefs. They play LA next week in the new stadium, so it should be fun to watch that one. And from one good quarterback to the other, how about Russell Wilson in Seattle just dominating Atlanta?
If I remember correctly, I predicted he would be the MVP. Sure as hell looked like it. Remarkable game to say the least. Didn't seem like Seattle. I mean, they seem like a very early NFC contender. I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited.
Well, we both picked him to go to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So kind of funny how our first two games were at Kansas City and Seattle, but Atlanta, I thought Atlanta would be more competitive in this game. You know, Matt Ryan, didn't he end up throwing for like over 400 yards?
I mean, yeah, I think he had 450, but that's what happens when you go down early. You just start chucking the ball.
Yeah, and I mean they have Atlanta has weapons. They got Calvin Ridley and they got
Julio looks good.
Julio looked good. I don't think it's panic mode for Atlanta yet. They have a fun matchup with Dallas next week, so that should be that should be fun. Yeah, Atlanta. I think it was definitely a fun game to watch though.
Yeah, and then and we had a nice little AFC North matchup. Not good prediction for Sam. Browns took a huge L. Odell Beckham likes to be shit in bed or shit on in bed, also shit on the field. Just Baker Mayfield didn't do it. Ravens looked like they picked up with their run game as last year. Ravens took the easy dub.
Can I ask you what your thought process was for picking Cleveland to win the division this year?
I thought after last year with the new coach, I thought they could have. I thought they would have been a high flying offense. They have on paper they're a very good team, but
and they lost David Njoku, their tight end, for what was this? His calf or something in his knee. I think he did something. But he's going to be out for a while, so that's a huge
they got
loss.
Austin Hooper, but I don't think that makes up. I think we might be looking at a shitty Browns.
Yeah, and Baltimore too. Lamar looks phenomenal. I think Baltimore's going to win between 11 and 13 games this year, so they're going to be in contention for AFC as well.
Yeah, and then the next game, nothing to say about it. Bills over Jets. Jets suck.
Yeah, I mean the Jets suck. Josh Allen looks good. Bills are going to win the division. That's pretty much. I didn't watch too much of that game, so
there was nothing really to watch, honestly. Josh Allen just chucked it down the field to John Brown. John Brown, easy scores.
Yeah.
To the next one we go. Oh, okay. I'm gonna talk about the next two. First of all, John fucking Gruden. Somehow, I expected the Panthers. You expected the Panthers, right? Or you expected Vegas?
No, I picked Vegas.
Okay. So, just simple, just quick. Josh Jacobs looks like a phenomenal running back. And in his second season at Alabama, Derek Carr. Okay, go off. They look like a good team. John Gruden, I mean, his hair was phenomenal. to say the least. I don't know if he had a visor on, but at the end of the game, he took everything off. Thing was all over the place. Looks fabulous. John Gruden over the Panthers. Panthers look like a good team, though.
Yeah, John Gruden looked like he had just been in a casino for 12 hours in Vegas with that haircut, with that hair. Uh, but yeah, that was a fun game. That was a fun game to watch. It was so back and forth. Teddy Bridgewater looked good in Carolina. It came down to the end. What was it, like 34-30 or something like that? It was really high.
It was
scoring.
close, and then the Panthers went for it on fourth down. They did a fullback draw or fullback handoff, which was dumb because you pushed McCaffrey.
Yeah, why would you not give it to your best player? So big mistake by the new coach in week 1. But Carolina, I still think they're going to be a lot better than people think.
I think they'll win 5 games throughout the season. The other one I want to talk about is Rick to the Lions. I think we both had the Lions here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me get into this real quick. Matthew Stafford looks like a beast. He always is. He always has been one as well. Mitch Trubisky, he hears Nick Foles behind him knocking on the door, bang, bang, and Mitch Trubisky goes off. Now, Lions take it down the field. I think there was 28 seconds left. Puts a beautiful pass. Like, I swear, it was the most beautiful pass. It was like a rainbow, just dropped in. DeAndre Swift in the end zone, the rookie, by the way, from Georgia, drops it. Lions lose.
I mean,
Lions lose because DeAndre shit drops it.
That was the most, I think, maybe the most exciting game of the day. I mean, Detroit had a 17-point lead going into the fourth quarter and blew it.
To Mitch Trubisky, by the way. To Mitch Trubisky.
I was hoping Detroit was going to win. I just love to shit on Trubisky just because they didn't draft Mahomes, but yeah,
who decides? Hey, let's pick up a quarterback from UNC. Like, when has that ever worked out?
Yeah, I mean, Detroit taking that huge L. That was almost I hate to say must win in week 1, but if they want to maybe like get some respect around the division, I mean, that was definitely an opportunity to get some.
You know what it is? It's like every time you see the Lions on the schedule, you're just like, they're going to play us close, but they're not going to beat us.
Yeah, that's you could not have summarized it better than that.
I'm going to let you take the next couple of ones.
Yeah, wow. How about Jacksonville? I mean,
Jacksonville.
Phillip Rivers is going to Phillip Rivers, folks. I mean, he just late in the game throws an interception, had a chance to retake the lead for the Colts. Gardner Minshew looked phenomenal. I mean, he does not throw many incompletions. He's very accurate with his throwing.
Did you see that hair?
That Uncle Rico hair, that flock of Rico.
Also, just a note, Marlon Mack. I think he might have torn his ACL.
Out for the season.
Yeah.
Shefty just tweeted that out. Out for the season. So my rookie of the year prediction, Jonathan Taylor for the Colts, maybe.
Now it's looking more realistic.
He's going to be the starter for the Colts.
I think he had the first touchdown of the game. I don't know. He had like a 38-yard screen pass.
There was some nobody running back who went off. His last name was Hines. Like, nobody knew who he was, but it was this Hines dude. I know he got a ton of fantasy points, but I think they'll probably switch. It'll be both of them in the backfield. But boy, maybe we were bold having Indianapolis. At least I was.
Yeah, I thought we were.
Yeah, Jacksonville. I mean, I thought they would be 0-16, and they are 1-0. So completely wrong about that.
Thank for Trevor going wrong.
And then, of course, next game, Aaron Rodgers looking like he's 25 years old, absolutely torching the Vikings defense.
I mean, literally.
I mean, him and Devontae Adams. I mean, Devontae Adams had, 3 touchdowns and 100 and something yards?
He always does that shit. I don't know how. Like, they have no other receivers. If you're, a defense, you literally have to double him. And that's it. And somehow Aaron Rodgers just makes shit happen because it's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
Rodgers on the hot, he's just playing pissed off. And I saw a funny thing. This is the first time in a long time Aaron Rodgers has not had an in-season girlfriend. So.
Oh, that's what's making the difference.
Yeah, who knows? But you can go ahead and take the next few games if you want.
Cam Newton rushing for 2 touchdowns over the Fitzpatrick-less Dolphins. Fitzmagic-less, I should say, Dolphins. I would say tank for Trevor, but they obviously got Tua. 3 interceptions for Fitzpatrick. Cam Newton makes it happen. And then at the end of the game, he tweets some shit out. He's like, they were trying to grab my chain and all that shit. And that was pretty funny. Also, rip to the Philadelphia Eagle fans. They went up 17-0 at half, and then Washington football team. Yeah, Washington football team, not the Deadskins now, but the Washington football team comes back. Chase Young, I think he had 1.5 sacks. Pretty good rookie debut, considering there was no preseason.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal. This was another crazy game that, boy, Carson Wentz. I mean,
Washed
if
up.
you're an Eagles fan, you got to be pissed off with Carson Wentz. Like he just is not a great quarterback. I feel like he's always overrated going into the season, and he continuously he gets injured every 2 weeks, and secondly, I mean he's just not the greatest quarterback to have. Like he'll get you the points, he'll score, but then he's always at risk for throwing interceptions, and I don't know.
Yeah, he's a turnover, not a machine, but a turnover problem waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the next one too.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, just flawless hair. Everything was flawless. They drive down the field, man. They're ready to score a field goal, tie the game, and Randy Butluck just
gets injured.
But then he has to pull it too. He's like, oh, my leg. Like, dude, does your leg actually hurt?
I was watching this game yesterday on Red Zone, and I think I screamed out no, because I was cheering for Joe Burrow, so I was really hoping
that's the only reason people are watching the game. No one gives a shit about the Chargers or the Bengals. Like, obviously it shows in LA, but no one cares about the Bengals because it's just a shitty ass city. The only thing they're known for is their chili, and then Ryan Butluck, just Randy whatever. I don't even know his name. It doesn't matter.
Randy Bullock.
Randy Orton, just a little RKO action.
Oh man, I mean, Burrow looked good though. It gives you, if you're a Bengals fan, it definitely gives you hope for the season.
Yeah, I mean, actually, they could have won it too because he threw a touchdown pass to AJ Green, but AJ Green extended his arm.
Yeah.
Rip. I'm gonna let you take the next one, man. The next two, actually.
Yeah.
So I can rant about my Cowboys.
Yeah, there we go. Another fun NFC West game. Shout out to you who picked Arizona to beat San Francisco.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray looked good. DeAndre Hopkins had an incredible debut. He had 152 receiving yards. Arizona is a threat in that division. Like we predicted in the beginning of the season, the NFC West may be the best division. I think after this week, I think it's going to be the best division in football. Arizona, I mean, Raheem Mostert, of course. I mean, he's with the 49ers. But, yeah, he had a pretty solid game too. Jimmy G doing Jimmy G things, very average.
Very average.
Fun game to watch. Next one, another was maybe hyped up as a game of the week. Didn't turn out to be, but the Saints and the Bucks with Drew Brees. I mean, he showing that he's still got an arm. He's still got Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara went off. Saints look really, really good on offense. They torched the Bucks defense, and Tom Brady is washed up. He is done. He is done.
No, he's not washed up.
Tom Brady's done. He's done.
No, not washed up. Not washed up. He's not in a dishwasher yet. He's still dreading his Tom Brady looks and his sweat, and he's just ready to bring it all.
Also, did Gronkowski have a catch in the game? I don't think I heard his name once.
He had one catch, and I think it was for 2 yards.
So Gronkowski is done.
No. It's the first game, like I said. A Breeze win for New Orleans. Yes, it's pun season.
Yeah.
Last game last Sunday.
Let's go.
I'm just trying to compose myself real quick. What? Are you fucking kidding me? You gotta be fucking kidding me. You allowed the Rams 150 rushing yards, and they just gave away Todd Gurley. Like, they literally said, you can go. And then you give up 150 fucking rushing yards? What? Also, there's this, okay? Everyone has a problem with the 4th and 3rd call that Mike McCarthy called, and I think there's like 11 minutes left. You're wrong. Okay, you should go for that in that situation. If you say you have points, then you like Jason Garrett. Okay, and if you like Jason Garrett, then you go suck off the Cowboys, or actually, go suck off the New York Giants, and don't be a Cowboy fan. We've seen 10 years of terrible play calling and very conservative play calling. Okay, I could tell you the first 3 plays. First one, run right up the middle, okay, with Zeke. And then they bring in the wide receiver to use as a blocking, but it's a wide receiver going against the linebacker, so terrible call in there. Second, when we don't pick up a lot of yards because we have a wide receiver blocking the linebacker, we pass the ball. Oh, well, shit. Now it's 3rd and 9, okay? And we've gotten, I think, 45 seconds off the play clock. Okay, so if you have a problem with Mike McCarthy going for it, you can just go be a Giants fan. That's number one. Number two is everyone's saying that Dak fucked up. Just know that he only missed 3 passes in the first half and had over 180 passing yards. And the dude still runs, which is nice because we saw Tony Romo run for the longest time. And every time he ran, he would get injured. Okay, so you shouldn't have a problem with that. And if you do, once again, go be a Daniel Jones fan. I'm not mad that the Rams won. Okay, I'm not mad the Cowboys lost. I'm mad because people are like, oh, you should have taken the points. Go be a Jason Garrett fan. I said it. I said what I said. I'm mad.
Football season's going to be fun with you
Well,
on the podcast.
It's frustrating, okay? Because we have a great team on paper, okay? Obviously, we had terrible injuries. Blake Jarwin going down with torn ACL, Lane Vander Esch with the broken collarbone, so that was obviously hard to see. But I don't know what you expect. Did you expect us to blow them out? Okay, it's still the Rams that went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's frustrating. Player of the week, my player of the week, offensively, Russell Wilson. Defensive, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had 3 picks. Who are your? Give me a players of the week. Frustration is an understatement.
My offensive player of the week. Boy, that was a fun rant to listen to.
I'm mad.
I can tell. Offensive player of the week, it's got to be Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers looks like he's 25 years old again. What are you doing?
Taking a shot.
Okay. That was not a shot. That was spray.
We're not sponsoring this. You should be over 21. It is a 99 proof. Nope, 99 brand Long Island iced tea, 99 proof.
Underage drinking is illegal. Don't do it.
Yeah, bad.
Offensive player of the week, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Packers look phenomenal on offense. Defensive, Janoris Jenkins had a pick 6 against Tom Brady. Like I said, he's washed up. That's 3 straight games with a pick 6 for Tom Brady. And shout out to the Saints. They just looked like their defensive front was getting around the Bucs may just have a weak O-line, but the defensive front looked really solid for the Saints, getting around the edges and putting pressure on Breeze. Secondary looked good. So defensive team / players of the week are the Saints.
Yeah, and so in other sports news, another rant incoming. So, we had kickoff weekend for the Premier League, so if you care about soccer or football in other countries, it's done a match for Liverpool versus Leeds United, so phenomenal. Okay, so here's my other 2 rants. First of all, fuck Skip Bayless, and here's why. Because Skip Bayless, okay, literally said, well, I think it was like word for word, Dak Prescott is not a leader because when his brother committed suicide back in, I think February or something, Dak was like in quarantine, whatever, and he said that he was having problems. He was like feeling depressed because his brother committed suicide. And Skip Bayless has the balls. Somehow he grabbed the bull's balls and stuck it on his own to say that like that is not leadership quality and that makes you weak. Okay, Skip Bayless, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I actually mean that. And it's frustrating to say that when we talk about mental like illnesses and we talk about mental health in these days, like how the hell are you going to say someone's not a leader or they're showing poor leadership qualities because when their brother committed suicide and they're depressed, you're going to say that he's not a leader? Actually, he's more of a leader for speaking up and speaking out for younger people who are going through the same thing. I mean, it is something else. And I've never watched Skip Bayless, okay, but when it comes up on Twitter, I mean, you should literally just fuck off.
Yeah. I try to tune him out, like you said, as much as possible. He's I think obviously his morals and values are not in the right place. He's a piece of shit human being. Excuse me. And like you said, I mean, Dak Prescott, it does make him more of a leader for speaking up about mental illness because he's had a rough year, obviously. I know I was watching a little bit of the Fox pregame stuff yesterday, and they said it was really tough for him during the pandemic just because he felt like alone and lost and didn't know what to do basically. And I mean, your brother committing suicide, it's weighing on your mind a lot. But yeah, isn't he a Cowboys fan too? Like I thought he was.
I don't know, and the truth be told, I've never watched him, but I think he should get fired from Fox Sports. I'm typically not a very harsh person when it comes to that, but the fact that he said that on national TV, like that shows that your morals are just so low to the ground, and you really should like kind of question like your statement.
His character and his
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need to like take a step back and reevaluate those. Also, fuck ESPN. After one game of Mike McCarthy coaching, there's a headline this morning. Mike McCarthy, his question or we should start questioning his decision making. One game in that he went for it on a fourth down, that he went for it. Okay, and you're gonna say that he needs to be questioned about his judgment? It was the first game. Really? Whoever wrote that article, go question yourself, because you should. After one game, it's the first game of the season. We have 15 to go, and you're gonna say that he needs to question his judgment after one game? Okay, and that's number one. Number two is, as far as I'm concerned, that was just a great defensive play. That had nothing to do with the offense. It was, I would say, it was executed pretty damn well, and the defense just made a really good play, which happens. It's okay, but really, after one game, like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, they got to provide content somehow, but yeah, it's
like, I'm sorry, LeBron's waiting.
What?
It's just that they're waiting for LeBron to play so they can talk about him or Zion. Like,
also, if you want to go watch Monday Night Football tonight, go to ESPN and watch Monday Night Football.
Don't watch it. Protest ESPN. Watch us instead.
I mean, the games aren't bad. If you want to,
that's true.
If you're craving football, I mean, like you said, we're not advocating for ESPN here, but you know.
Once again, if you hate the Cowboys now because we went for it on fourth down, you want bland play calling, then go watch the Giants tonight. And you want to watch Jason Garrett do literally this stupid ass shit that he always does. I mean, the dude's been a decent offense coordinator, not a terrible head coach, but below average.
Going back up to football, while you were kind of ranting a little bit there, but I wanted to throw this story in there too between PSG and Marseille. I don't know if you saw the fight with 5 red cards in 2 minutes. I thought that was kind of fun to watch.
Yes, we like that. I mean, it's a little bit of a slower game, so we like the fight.
Did you see the amount of flopping in the fight? I think Neymar barely headbutted a guy, and the guy just like falls down and loses it. It's
from Neymar, who's like 5'7".
It was one of the more interesting soccer fights I've ever seen. So shout out to the French league for providing some entertainment in football.
Yeah, bring some entertainment. Go get in a fight. Red cards are good. Yellow cards are bad. Either go all out or go big or go home.
Yeah.
Our new top 5 of the week. Worst cities to be a sports fan in.
This should be fun.
Okay. If you live in one of these cities and you're a sport fan of that city, I'm sorry.
There's just not much we can do for you.
Just pick another city. I mean, there's a lot of – go be an Albuquerque, New Mexico fan. Like,
there's no sports teams there, so you can't be disappointed.
High School Musical was filmed there. Go be a Arizona Wildcat or a high school Wildcat. East High Wildcat fan.
Don't disrespect East High like that. You got to remember that name.
Yeah. Or go be a fan of Boise. What is it? Boise State?
Blue Field.
Yeah, Blue Field. Like, hell yeah, man. Or was it Eastern Washington?
They got the red one.
Field. All right, give me your top 5.
Actually,
give me your number 5, and then we'll alternate.
Yeah, well, this isn't a city; it's multiple cities combined into one. The whole state of Florida. I mean, this is kind of like sort of current and like over like history. Tampa Bay has been a dumpster fire. I mean, you got obviously this year they've been pretty good with like all their sports teams. Miami has been awful with the Marlins, the Dolphins, and the Heat up until this year, of course. But who else? Jacksonville's terrible. The Orlando Magic have been terrible.
Florida State hasn't been good since the Winston era.
Florida hasn't won since Tebow.
I'm pretty sure Florida's stadium lit on fire this weekend too.
That's nice.
I don't know if that's true though. Don't mark my
words. I think they have some of the worst fans. When their team was against the Spurs in the NBA Finals back in 2013 or 14, they left because they were down by 5 points, and they couldn't. They weren't. So I think they just have terrible fans.
And I saw Ray Allen hit the best 3 ever.
Florida's so yeah. Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is the city of Chicago, Mr. Kanye West City, for a few reasons. All right, other than the Cubs, great 2016 run. The White Sox suck. Okay, the Cubs have been terrible until 2016. Now they're decent. They're above average. The Bulls haven't been good since Derrick Rose. The Bears have Mitchell Trubisky. The Blackhawks, I'm pretty sure they're one of the worst teams in hockey. I don't really know. what a terrible city. Like, I'm sorry, but terrible. Just terrible.
Yeah. Chicago's my number 4. So, uh, yeah, like you said, I was gonna say though. I mean, Chicago hasn't. The Bulls haven't been relevant since Jordan. Forget D
Yeah.
Rose. I mean,
I mean, that's the truth.
Rose didn't win a championship for them.
Yeah, I think the first he took them was the Easter Conference Finals and lost the LeBron Cavs.
Heat.
Oh,
No, I
they
think
lost
he was
the
with
Heat. Oh, he was with the Heat. It was 2011,
Yeah.
so yeah, he was with the Heat.
Yeah, but
My number 4, the city of Phoenix / the state of Arizona. Here's why, right? And not to go into too much detail. The Suns are still irrelevant. They obviously went 8-0 in the bubble, and that's great. I mean, the last time the Arizona Cardinals went to the Super Bowl was 2008, which seems really recent. But since then, like when Kurt Warner retired, like Larry Fitzgerald's been the only promising like player on that team until the past couple of years. Baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks suck. You don't realize how many players came out of the Arizona Diamondbacks like system until you start looking at it, and then you're like, wow, they pretty much gave up these guys for nothing. And then lastly, I mean, why the hell is there a fucking hockey team in Arizona?
The Coyotes, come on.
Like, why are you putting in a city that's usually above 80 degrees year round? Okay, the best thing that Phoenix has, well, that's not true. The best 2 things that Phoenix has is Devin Booker and Cliff Kingsbury. Okay, and Devin Booker because Kendall Jenner, which is great, and also he scores 50 a night. But Cliff Kingsbury because the dude is like Ryan Reynolds part 2. So like, did you see him on draft night? The dude was like relaxing. He's like, I'm gonna pick who I pick, and I'm gonna be whatever with it. Like GOAT status. Give me your number 3.
Shout out to Phoenix too. They have a plethora of golf courses. So if you like to golf, there's literally a golf course.
TPC, yes.
Scottsdale, yeah.
Best thing.
That's only number 3 for me. Oh
Oh,
boy.
can I actually hold on? Let me get this back real quick. What is the TPC Scottsdale called? It's like the trash can open.
The Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Yeah.
It's sponsored by
Okay.
trash.
Give me your number 3.
because the people are trash there. So
yes. Who's number 3?
You may hate me for this. The city of New York. I mean, can you really blame me though? Let's do it. Let's do a team breakdown. Yes, the Yankees have 27 World Championships. Congratulations. You have 27 championships, but you haven't been relevant since 2009. Yeah, get that hat off the screen.
Hey, we have Aaron Judge.
You overhyped this season, and you're still 500. The Mets have been trashed. They've made the World Series once, and they got destroyed by my Royals. So Mets have been trashed. The Giants and the Jets are trash football teams. I mean,
Adam Gase is your head coach.
you had 2 great wild card win years with Eli, who got you to 2 Super Bowls. The Jets have been in a dumpster fire since Joe Namath. Rangers suck. Islanders are going to lose in the playoffs. The Knicks should go fuck off, Knicks. You should get relegated to college basketball. I'm done.
You forgot the Brooklyn Nets. But honestly,
sorry, the Brooklyn Nets suck too.
Not relevant until the season. That was a good rant. My number 3.
That's only number 3 for me. So yeah.
That's true. My number 3 is San Diego. Let me tell you about the city of San Diego. You're lucky you got the beaches there because the Padres are the only minorly decent team, not relevant until the season. They're still not relevant other than Fernando Tatis Jr. Okay, you lost the Chargers. Okay, how the fuck do you lose the Chargers? Like, Phillip Rivers was the king of San Diego, but that's because he had 10 kids. Like, he literally had a whole government going on there. Okay, you lost the Clippers. Like, how the hell are you just losing all these teams? And it's like you're losing to your big brother. Like, you're losing to fucking LA. Like, come on now. What a shitty ass city. And what else? Is there anything else in San Diego that's good? There's an aquarium.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a really cool city to go, but boy, have you ever met somebody say, "Oh, I'm a San Diego sports fan"? Do they even exist?
No.
There's just no.
I think I've met more Anchorage, Alaska sports fans.
Probably.
Give me your number 2.
Number 2. 1 and 2 are going to basically be 1A, 1B for me. I'm going to say both of them right now because they could be 1A, 1B. Number 2, Cleveland, 1 Detroit. They're both next to each other. I'm going to break down each one. Cleveland, wow. LeBron left twice. The Browns have been absolute awful they've been the joke of the NFL for the entire millennium. Who else do we got in there? The Indians have been.
Can
Okay,
we
they
can we
had
put the
one.
fact that the Browns had like 17 different like quarterbacks in the span of like 10 years or some shit?
They had as many quarter. They had New England had one quarterback in that span. Cleveland's had 17.
Okay, give me your thing about the Indians.
And the Indians, yeah, they made it to the World Series with against the Cubs, but they didn't win. So I mean, the Indians they've been decent, but that's about the only redeeming quality of Cleveland. Who wants to live in the city of Cleveland? There's nothing there. Their city was lit on fire in the 1900s, so rip to that. How does a river just catch on fire? I mean, it's a terrible. You have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Drew Carey. Congrats.
Hey,
Number
give
one.
Canton.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't make up for it, does it?
Number one is Cleveland North, Detroit.
What a
Who wants
terrible
to
city.
who wants to live in Detroit? All the jobs are gone. They moved out of Detroit, and I mean, the Detroit Tigers, garbage. The Detroit Red
Pistons.
Wings. The Red Wings had 39 points before the pandemic. They were 40 points below any other team. So I mean, that's just pathetic. The
Pistons,
Detroit Pistons.
trash. They play in the
Detroit
Little
Pistons.
Caesars Arena.
God, give me back to the Palace. The Palace, give me the Malice of the Palace. But the Pistons have been horrible since Rasheed Wallace and Chauncey Billups, and the Detroit Lions proved my point yesterday. Who's your?
My number 2 is Detroit, and that just the only thing that's good that came from the state of Michigan is literally Marshall Mathers, Eminem. Okay, that's the only good thing that has ever come from the state of Michigan, especially the city of Detroit. No one, I've never met a single person that's like, oh, we're going to visit Detroit. Like, we're gonna go see some cool stuff. Like, it's Detroit, man. Like, there was that pawn shop show that was on TV probably, I don't know, 10 years ago. That was the most exciting thing about Detroit. Now, Detroit is a shit town. GM, just leave. Ford, leave. Everyone just needs to move.
They do have a nice airport, though. I have had a layover there. It is actually a really nice airport. So that
doesn't matter because no one's visiting it.
Exactly. I had a layover there. So.
And my number 1 sports city that is just goddamn terrible to be a sport fan in, and you might as well not even be a sport fan, is the city of Tampa Bay. Okay? No one cares about Tampa Bay sports. Irrelevant. Everywhere. They got the fucking GOAT of football, the GOAT of Mr. Quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, and I still don't think anyone gives a shit about the Bucs. I really mean it. Jameis Winston, do your Jameis Winston impersonation. What is it? Eat the dub? Yeah, because
it's a W.
It's never a W when you're in fucking Tampa Bay. I mean, absolutely just a god-awful city. Okay, the Bucs, I don't think I've been to a playoff game since 2008. The Rays went to the World Series, and they still didn't win it, to my knowledge. But even now, when they make it to the playoffs, no one goes. They're like the Chargers of baseball. If the city of Tampa made the playoffs, I guarantee you they might have, I don't know, 5,000 fans. That is terrible. And then Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously, they're good, so, like, great. But no one gives a shit about hockey in Florida because it's fucking Florida. Okay, the city of Tampa is a god-awful city to be a sport fan of. You should literally pick any other city. Okay, okay, I understand. You're a Florida person, so you probably think that Tampa's like the GOAT. Like, I don't know why, but I would hate to be a Tampa Bay City sport fan.
Boy, this was a heated episode, wasn't it? A lot of rants.
Like, I've never seen someone rock a Tampa Bay hat. Like, have you ever been walking around the streets before of wherever and seen like a Tampa Bay hat?
Not at all. Not a single one.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That pretty much wraps up the episode. Boy, that was
every Monday
fun.
is going to be like this, by the way, when the Cowboys lose. But if they win, I'll probably be happier.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a single NFL Monday when I'm disappointed because the Chiefs.
Honestly, I might get in every single Monday is going to be me just ranting.
Just name the episode Sam Rants, episode 8.
I'm probably going to rant about this stupid shit too. I'm like, the Washington football team beat, this team.
Yeah.
Like, what? What? Well,
yeah, pretty much, that, like I said, wraps up the episode. Of course, follow us on Twitter, T_A_G Sports, always at the top of the screen here. It's going to be on, slide to the left, slide to the right. Episode's always going to be on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Give us a follow on Twitter. We post our weekly NFL picks, so it was fun. It was fun tracking those picks
what's our
for the
record?
week. Yeah, so I'm 7-7 through the games. We have 2 more games tonight, and you're 6-8. So get ready for that Chiefs game that's going to be on you. We're only
Nope.
1 week in, but
I was gonna say we're only 1 week in, man.
yeah, we have a different pick tonight, so you could even things up with me. So be interesting. But
Who do we
yeah,
pick tonight? We picked.
I oh yeah,
You
we
picked
picked.
the.
I
You picked
picked
the
Pittsburgh. You
Steelers.
you have the
I picked.
Giants.
I picked the Giants.
Yeah.
No. Did
Yes, you
I?
did.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I have to look. Hold on. I'm looking. I did not pick the Giants.
Yeah, you did.
Oh shit! I did.
It's
God
too late
damn it.
now. You're not changing that.
That's fine. Damn
We
it.
both have Tennessee in the late game, so yeah, it's NFL's back underway. It's been what a Monday. This was probably the most electric episode we've had.
And it's gonna only get more electrifying.
Yeah.
You imagine a car coming, just lightning strike. Be there,
Yeah.
be square. We're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, give us a follow on Twitter. You got anything
T
else?
underscore A underscore G Sports. We'll also be on
Yeah.
Spotify. Apple Podcasts is still hard, man.
Yeah.
It is impossible to figure out, let me tell you.
We love to grow our audience. So if you guys want to debate us or not, follow like we said, follow us on Twitter, comment on YouTube, comment on any of our hot takes if you agree with them or not. We want to answer questions from you guys. Want to talk about it. We always want to grow the podcast. So yeah, pretty much wraps up the episode.
Yeah, that's all. We got a couple good games tonight. NBA tomorrow night, and then Thursday we see the shitty teams of Ohio, Cincinnati versus Cleveland.
Should be a fun week of sports.
All right, take care now.
Yeah, see you later.